So that was the first loop, right? So I'm done with this location here. So the second guy over here is,
You do 0, 1?
I'm sorry?
0, 1?
Yep. The second one will be 0, 1 because I'm still in row 0, but I'm on column 1. Right? I moved here to this location, right? Make sense? No? Okay. The outside loop, that's the rows. That means row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And you don't go back out to an outside loop until you do all of the inside loops. So the inside loops, we know that it's red cross, so it's the C for the columns. So these are the columns. So you need to finish all of the columns on this row before you go to the next row. Right? So, and you cannot go out to this other loop. You cannot go out here until you finish this whole loop over here, which is all the way over to 10. Right, so you need to do these 10 times, but you're still sitting on the first row. Right? So by doing this guy here, and then the second time was 0 plus 1, right? So that gives me a number 1 here. Right? The next time I'm still on 0, on the row 0, but I'm column 2, that will give me a number 2 there. And so on. So what happens when I get over here? When I get to that guy, I go outside to the outer loop, and then the outer loop is not a 0 anymore, it's a 1. So I'm jumping into the second row here. Right? So that will be at that place, I'll be on this guy being a 1, and then this being a 0. And if I add those two guys, I get a 1 right here. Okay? So before we know, this is totally filled out.
How would you exit, or how would you end the inner loop?
Because of the column. Right? So if the y is less than a column, continue. When they get to be the same, then it exits out. Right? When it gets to be over here, to 9. The last time it goes to 10 to 10, it says these are not less than, these are the same, so I'm out. Right? Yes?
And it prints it the second time around in the same place?
No, I'm not printing, I'm putting data inside. Okay?
Is the data in the same place every time in the first row?
No, on the first row, the very first time that I'm going in, the very first time, I'm in the location 0, 0, right? So I'm telling it to go ahead and add 0 plus 0 at location 0, 0.
Right.
So location 0, 0 is right here.
Right.
Okay. So the next time around, I'm not at 0 anymore, I'm on 1.
Right.
But I'm still on row 0.
Oh, okay.
So I moved to column 1.
You're still on row 0.
I'm still in column row 0, right?
Okay.
But I'm on column 1.
Okay.
Okay. So at that point will be I'm adding 0 plus 1 to 1. So I'm putting the 1 here. Okay. Once I go through all of these columns and I hit the 9 there, column is less than 10. So this gets out and it comes back up to the very first guy here. So this one is not a 0 anymore, it's a 1, which brings me down to this row. And then it does the same thing again, all the way down to here. This inner loop. Every time you
So
change,
row 1 also gets the same numbers as row 0.
they don't, because you add in the values here. Like the first time is 0, 0, right? And then 0 goes all the way up to 0, 9, right? The next outside, this becomes a 1 to a 0. And then it goes a 1 all the way to a 9. So at the end, on this guy here, this will be a 10. this one is the when we go to the second row, right? The row is 1. And I add in 1 with column 0, that's a 1. Then add in 1 in column 1, that would be a 2.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what you did, okay,
It's still 1 with column 2, then it becomes a 3.
thank you, I see it now.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah? So let's say I'm here, 7, and let's say I'm on this location. So that will be 7 and 6, that will be 13. Right? So if you want to know the amount, the value that is on any location in there with this program, all you need to do is you have the row that you are and the column you are, and that's the amount that is there. Right? This one is critical for everybody to understand this. Okay? Anybody with questions on this? Don't be shy.
Is that way we would print it? Is that what we?
Well, the assignment actually that is going to be on the next program, okay? You have an assignment that you need to build something like this, and then you need to add all of the diagonal numbers, values that are here, and then you need to add all of the diagonal values that are from here to here.
Add them, is that?
Add them.
Okay.
Right, that's it. So when you print them out, instead of printing everything, you only want to print the ones that are like this and the ones that are like this. You want to add them and says the total amount that is there is 50-50. That's what it is, by the way. Is it? Don't remember? I think it was. No, can't be. No, that's another side. Yes.
On that case, they have some number that they want the program won't accept, because if you put it, it's like a null, you won't accept some numbers in the middle.
Well, in the middle ones, then you need an if statement.
Yes, that's
You do exactly the same thing. You travel to the double dimension array the same way, but instead of putting data in here, this one, what we're doing here is we put in data into that array here. We're just loading values into it. Okay. The actual program on the program is that once you load it, then you have to go again through something similar to this. And then over here, you need an if statement, and you need to figure out how to, where am I? And if I'm here, I want to add those values. And being a 10 by 10 is extremely easy to do, because you are diagonally in a place where something happens that is, I can't give you the answer, but it's very easy, okay? It's very easy. Yes.
Is that also how you make a chessboard that you can say, I want that to be black and that number to
Probably.
be white?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I remember many decades ago I did an assignment like that, and probably I did it like that. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, yeah. And it was done in something called Pascal. They don't use Pascal anymore, but every language is the same idea. Okay. The reason why you need to learn these things is because when you're in real life, when you load data, everything goes into some kind of data structure. This is called a data structure. Okay. So it has to go into a data structure that you can read it. Okay. Because you have it on the hard drive in different places, you need to bring it up into the computer and put it in some kind of order, and then you work with it. Okay. If you don't learn this, and this is one of the ones that I use the most.